Hello, everyone. Welcome to Balancing Home and Work. Hello, my name is Michelle O'Quinn. This is my contact information. That's Michelle at scareinc.org. My number is 619-328-0676, and my extension is 214. So here at SCARE, I am the job developer. When I'm working with a participant, we set educational and employment goals together. We work on job search. I help my participants with clearing up their digital footprint. We work on career readiness, and that may include time management and looking at current barriers that you may have and see how we can tackle that. I work with participants on their resume, their cover letter. I also provide a mock interview if that's what you need. Also, there are other services that I could possibly help out with that are career and educational related that are not necessarily on this list. I play everything by ear, see what I can help with if it's not in my department or if I feel that I'm not the best person for that. I also refer my participants to someone who can help. So on the agenda today, we have getting organized, because if you're trying to balance something, you need to look at exactly what it is that you're trying to balance. So you have to get organized, look at each itemize everything that's in your life, and it may seem daunting, but it's a must and it's worth it in the end. Your family needs, school activities, the budget, and family time on a budget. So just a little bit about myself. At one point, I was married for 10 years, and then for another 8 years, I was a single mom. Well, 10 years. I was a single mom, 7 kids. I worked full-time. I went to school. I earned my degree while I was a single mom, working full-time. So yes, it was really, really hard. Having time management and being on the schedule and setting the schedule was a lifesaver. So I am just trying to share what I did and what I learned and what I figured out helped me. I just try to share that information with my participants because maybe something, even if it's just a little bit of information, if it can help and others can use it, then I'm happy to share it. So we're going to look at getting organized. Schedules. I love schedules because everybody is on the same page. We all know what to expect and what to do next. Rotating menus. A lot of parents are not aware of the whole rotating menu. The importance of having a rotating menu is that like you can predict what your meal is going to be without spending too much time on trying to figure things out only to eat out in the end, which is also costly, and we want to save money. And then your budget, getting your budget organized, and then making sure that you schedule in some of that you time. So your basic outline for your schedule, that you want to have a morning schedule. And so your morning schedule will include like what time is best for you and your family to get up in the morning and get your day started so that you're not starting off late, that you're not late to work, they're not late to school. So that would be the beginning of your schedule. Like what time is everyone getting up? Getting dressed, make sure you eat, brush your teeth, hair, backpack, ready. What time does everyone need to be out the door? Your PM schedule would include, maybe a snack time before they start their homework. After homework, do some chores. After chores, it may be time for dinner. So that homework time and chore time is a good time where you can start cooking. You can fit that in because the kids are busy off doing what they need to do, so then you can cook in peace. And then by the time you're done cooking, their chores should be done. It's time to eat, get them showered. And then, let's see, and then a weekend schedule. So of course, on the weekends, you're not waking up at the same time you would on your Monday through Friday schedule. So your weekend might look a little different. And you may need to add more activities into the schedule. Also, it's important to post it. You need to post the schedule so that everyone can see, everyone's on the same page. For me, when my girls were little, I had a picture schedule because, of course, they couldn't read. So there was a picture schedule where they could see, so it was at eye level, so they could see and point to what they were supposed to do next. The rotating menu. So for me and my household, I had a 6-week rotating menu, and it was up where the kids could see it. We knew what was in the refrigerator, so it was predictable what we were having for dinner that night. Also, it provided a predictable budget. So when I went grocery shopping, I knew exactly what I was buying, how much I needed to buy. And because it was just for that week or just for that day. And then also it provides you with no lost time because you're trying to figure out what you're going to eat for dinner. So a rotating menu is a lifesaver. Like I said, I would do a 6-week rotating menu. Your budget. So when balancing the household, well, balancing your time, because how much you have in your budget kind of predicts like what you can do with your family during that family time and what's not in the budget to do. Because we all know that different factors can affect, things that you can do with the family, and then, some weeks or some months, like, sorry, we can't go out. We kind of have to do things inside depending on what the budget is. So you want to factor in your household expenses. So your rent or your mortgage or whatever it is that you're paying for, your housing, your room. You want to factor that in. Your utilities. So that would be your gas and electric, your cell phone bill, any credit card bills you want to pay on those because that affects your credit score. And then we're looking at your grocery bill. And again, that rotating menu will help affect your grocery bill because you're not buying random things that you just see in the store. The rotating menu helps you focus on what you really need for the week when you're going grocery shopping, and you're not just making impulsive buys when you're at the grocery store. Also, when you're doing your budget, you want to factor in your car expenses. So that would be if you have a car note or a car payment, the insurance, and then your gas. How much money for gas do you need until your next payday? So you want to factor that in. Another thing that may affect your budget is family events and family celebration. So if grandma has a birthday or if there's a family potluck, things like that, you don't want to be caught off guard and out of budget when there's a family celebration, a family birthday or something like that coming up, and it's within a certain time frame of your budget. Another thing to factor in is holidays and how much you're putting towards that. That also can affect your budget on what all you can do with your family. So when you're balancing your home and your family life, you want to make sure that you include you time. And so that may be getting into gardening, or, having a porch garden, or even I've seen like little kitchen gardens. Um, Getting into arts and crafts. I know for me, just beading helps me calm my mind and keep everything quiet, because you have so much going on, especially like with the kids and then work and then things going on at home, and so just maybe an hour of beading, just to get a break from all that noise, um, helps me out. But for some people, it might be sewing, it might be painting. You don't even have to be good at it. Just to do something different. And it's not like we're trying to sell it at the next farmer's market. We're just trying to provide ourselves with a space to have to quiet our mind and to relax, to read a book. And I know sometimes having young ones, it's really hard to get through a book, because they're there, and they're constantly asking, permission for things, or they need your attention too. But that's why you need to schedule that you time. For me, I made it a point that my kids were in bed by 8:30. Lights were out. A lot of times, people have TVs in the kids' room, but lights were out at 8:30. They were in bed, no excuses. You had to use the bathroom, drink your water, whatever. Just, you were in bed by 8:30. And then my me time was at 9:30. So then that gave them enough time to get them rested and settled into bed. It's been an hour since I put them down in the dark. So, they should be settled by 9:30. So then by 9:30, I could have my me time. I could read my book. I could do art. I could do the, after 9:30. But I would schedule, make sure that I had me time. Also, besides reading a book, you can do some journaling. I know this can be helpful. Sometimes you get so overwhelmed, you just need to get it out. But, you may feel that, other people don't need to know all your business. So just writing it down just to get it out, and just, putting it away where, it's safely tucked away to where no one can read it, except for you. Also making time to exercise. You don't have to go to the gym. You can exercise in your house or your apartment, gym time, or you can go for a walk, or take the kiddos make time. Take the kiddos with you to, well, no, few time, but just go for a walk if you can. Like being a single parent, there's no way you can go for a walk unless you take the kiddos with you. But just definitely getting in that exercise. And then also part of balancing home and work life, that you need to recognize what your family needs. What are some things that are important? They might have a, doctor's appointments, or, something's going on with your child's teeth and you need to address that. Some things you just need to hop right on it, whether it's a mental health emergency, a dental emergency, they're having some kind of health problems. Like, you want to make sure that, as you're trying to balance home and life, that, also in your home life, you set priorities, like what things need to be addressed right now. And so just making sure that those things are at the top of your list because they're important. Also, you may have some things that you need to do, like you need to do laundry, you need to, like those little parental chores, but just making sure that when you're balancing those things and you're making your schedule, whether it's a daily schedule or a weekly schedule, that you're also putting down the things that you know that you need to do for the week. So that would be like, your laundry, the day that you're going to deep clean the house, things like that. Also, families, they have goals. Um, so you don't have to have goals, but some families have goals. um, get those down, and it might be written on another board or another paper, like what are your family's goals, like for your children to receive straight A's, for your children to have perfect attendance for the month, things of that sort. When it comes to school, things that you may want to have consideration is homework time, making sure that you've allotted time for homework. I know with SCARE, we offer tutoring, so some parents may have a tutoring schedule, tutoring time scheduled within their schedule. Parent-teacher meetings, those should be jotted on the side if there's a parent meeting that week, when that is, and what time. Field trips, I know with my kids' school, it can get very, very confusing because they want to give you all the field trips in the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden, my daughter, the day before, it never fails, the day before, oh, Mom, I have field trip tomorrow, I need lunch. I'm like, really? It is 9 o'clock at night. But, just trying to keep up with those field trips. You can put them on your calendar on your phone. And then also too, like some email space, what are they called, sites or domains, like they have a calendar where you can actually input it. Google has one, Hotmail has one. You can just input their field trips. I would input like the day before, so at least if you can make sure that you have something if they need to pack a lunch. Classroom volunteers, I know with some of the young ones, the teachers would ask for volunteers to come with the teacher on the field trips. And then after school programs, they can be kind of hanky, and sometimes they add little monkey wrenches into your schedule, because not only does the school have events, which is the last one. So not only do schools have events, but sometimes the after school program will have events too. And, they have their own spirit week, and they have their own field trips, and they have their own, celebrations as well. So trying to keep up with school events and after school program events, it's important to write them down because it can be really difficult to keep up with. And then family time. So that we talked about that briefly, about that weekend schedule and how it might be a little different from the weekday schedule. So the weekday schedule will jump from, a morning schedule, and then there's nothing in the middle. And then there's a PM schedule when everyone's home from school and from work. The weekend schedule usually includes like extracurricular activities. So that might be Little League, it might be football, it might be dance or something like that. If your children aren't involved in those things, then you really don't need to worry about it. Yeah, so your weekend schedule will include like their extracurricular activities and things like that. Also too, you might want to schedule time for family time, and I'm going to get into this family time on a budget. So like for me, I had to figure this out because I wanted to make sure that when I'm with my kids that I create like positive family memories, positive childhood memories for them, and more of those positive memories as opposed to the negative ones. So in my family, they love to play Uno. We play Loteria a lot. And then I use candies as their markers as opposed to beans. and they love Jenga. So it's like you can purchase these things. They're not expensive games. They're very inexpensive games that you can purchase, and the kids love them. Um, Also, too, again with the board games, they love those. And then also too, like sometimes we'll do like a special cooking project. So it could be a sweet, it can be like something that the kids like. So there's certain things that my kids like to eat. So in my house, it's empanadas. And so, it's a very special moment, not only for them to have empanadas, period, but just for us to go through the process of making them. So they get really excited about that. And then also to another inexpensive activity is having a movie night. So I would have like one child make tickets, and then we would just pop up some popcorn. So someone is like pretending to sell popcorn. You have to go to the popcorn stand, and then we at the popcorn stand there's like a little container that has all the drinks, things like that, and then you can just literally Netflix and chill. And it becomes like this whole movie night just because you created the atmosphere of like, oh my God, midnight. But they love it. My kids still love it. My daughter is about to turn 17, and for her birthday, she requested that we have a movie night. So that's just my house. And then also too, like having a bonfire or making s'mores. I know like some people they live in apartments. Um, I'm I'm blessed to live in a house, and so like in our backyard, like we would have bonfires with the kids, and they would do their s'mores, um, or roast marshmallows. I think s'mores way too much sugar, but that's just me. Um, so those are some inexpensive activities to do with the kids. Also with movie night, um, I would also do like because my kids like the hot cocoa, so we would do hot cocoa and watch movies as well, like without the soda. So things like that. You know what your kids like, you know what your family likes. But yeah, so this is a little bit of family time on a budget. And so I would like to thank you for joining me in balancing home and work. And, I focus more on home and strengthening the house, just because like sometimes it can be really hard to keep work at work and home at home. But I think that if when we focus on creating, positive childhood memories and just trying to make sure that our home is peaceful and a place of, peace and and peace and love, and sharing that love with our family, that it makes it easier to leave work life at work. um, and I know it starts out as like balancing home and work, but it's really about like getting your home life to where it's just it's organized and everything's in a set time. Just like I'm pretty sure your work life is organized and everyone has a schedule. You have a schedule of when you're supposed to be in, when you're supposed to take your lunch break. Many workplaces have a very regimented atmosphere, and it's about you creating, the same outline for your own family so that everything becomes more predictable. Not that it's going to be totally predictable. I don't expect everything to be totally predictable, but it allows you to expect and to predict like basically what your home life is what to expect when you're at home. And of course there's going to be those little monkey wrenches thrown at you here and there, but I mean when you have that basic schedule set in your home and everyone knows what to expect, it makes things a lot easier. And also too, it makes it easier on the kids because they know what's supposed to come next, or what's for dinner, or what we're doing this weekend, or whose birthday is it that's coming up, or things like that. So, I mean, everybody loves predictability. You know, it makes the children more independent because they know what's coming up, so they know what they need to do. Um, so I would say just try it. Don't knock it till you try it. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.